Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an awesome new knife console on the Gareth Bull Field Grade Shamwari. If you go back on my channel, you will see that I have done a number of videos on the Gareth Bull Shamwari. My final diagnosis on the knife is that it is EDC perfection. The only problem with the Shamwari is that it's very hard to get one, and so Gareth and his brother Jason have come up with a solution in offering more frequent drops of what he's calling the field grade Shamwari. Now this is a sham with slightly lower specs than the standard model, but it has every bit of the soul and the feel of the high-end custom versions, and so it's very interesting, and I wanted to go through this knife. I don't have a custom Shamwari to show you guys right now. I've actually sold my two Shamwaris in anticipation of getting a new one. Apologize for the cough there. What I wanted to show you guys was something that I find really awesome and kind of hilarious, because when I originally got my first Shamwari, he sent it in a plastic bag, and then when I got my second one, he sent it in another plastic bag, but it had a little sunglass case, and now he's gone to this little case right here. On the inside of this guy, you're going to get a little Gareth Bull patch right here, and it will still come in a small Ziploc bag. I think that's some sort of South African thing where they send it in a Ziploc. In any case, that's how the knife comes in that nice little package, and here we have the field grade Shamwari. So what are the major differences? Well, the blade steel is going to be a slight downgrade. The washers are going to be phosphor bronze washers, and then pretty much everything else is fairly similar, just a fairly plain fit and finish in terms of what's going on. So let's go ahead and get some raw numbers and some vital signs on this guy. This smaller version is coming in with a 3-inch blade right here. He may offer some 3 1/4, 3 1/2-inch variants. This particular one is the 3-inch. Overall length is coming in right under 7 inches in overall length. The handle's about 3.9 inches, and your grip area is about 3.6. So it's a rather small knife right here. Let's go ahead and compare it to another couple of knives. Here is a Spyderco Paramilitary 3, or a Para 3. So already you can see that the knife is, this Para 3 is bigger than the Shamwari right here. Here is a Kershaw Concierge. Another small knife. Here's a very, very small knife. Here's the NCC Knives Mark 1 Micro right there. That is my new knife right there. I haven't shown that one. Here's another small knife right here. This is the Mass Drop and Ferrum Forge Falcon. So you see what kind of size category we're talking about here. I'm going to bring out another couple of interesting front flipping knives that I've got here. Here's a Trevor Berger custom right here, and then here is actually a Clyde Challenor. So it's interesting to me that the South African guys are coming out with all these awesome front flipper knives. I may do a feature on these 3 knives all in one video. That might be a lot of fun. So, taking a look at this knife, let's go ahead and break it down anatomically. Up front is a blade done in N690 steel. N690 is actually sort of the baby brother of M390 in the sense that, like, maybe like I don't know, an XHP is the baby brother to a 204P, but you know, maybe this N690 steel hovers somewhere in that range of like a VG10 or something like that. So it's an okay steel, but it's not going to break any records right here. But the goal is to bring the costs down. Now, Gareth and his younger brother are just making these knives in their shops, and so it's still a lot of time and effort, but in order to bring the cost down to just $400, this is a $400 knife, they have to downgrade somewhere, and they started with the blade steel, but what they did not skimp on is the finish. What you're going to appreciate is that this still features the crowned spine with the transition into that lovely swedge, a tall, hollow ground blade with a very Sebenza-esque type drop point grind right there. Very, very useful, very, very functional. One of the best grinds out there, just a no-nonsense, user grind. Another reason that I consider these to be EDC perfection is that blade shape. It is absolutely awesome, and it cuts well. And this blade came very sharp from the guys. It is a very good slicer as it is right now. An N690 will be easy to maintain. If you have a basic sharpening system, you should be able to maintain this knife. Now let's go ahead and move back to one of the most fun parts of this knife, and that is the action, the deployment, and the front flipper right here. In true Gareth fashion, he has made a very fun, very accessible front flipping knife. Of course, I'm going to mess it up right when I'm saying that. But once you find the angle of attack, this thing flies open just like the custom models. As a matter of fact, the over-the-top action is the best of any of the knives that I felt from him. My smaller 3.25 version that I had was too light on the detent. My bigger one was maybe too strong on the detent. This one is tuned just right. Once you get that flipping action down, it's a wonderful thing. Like I mentioned, this guy is running on phosphor bronze washers. Small little custom washers are on the inside there. Over time, this will only get smoother and smoother. This is still a brand new knife. I've probably flipped it 100 times. But once I get it off to my buddy Nico, who ended up getting this knife, he's going to flip it 1,000,000 times, and it's going to be beautifully smooth. As a matter of fact, the phosphor bronze washers really make this more of an EDC-friendly knife. It makes it more of a user, and that is the intention of this knife. Gareth said, "I'm very happy that you even like the beater version." He even calls it the beater version, and that is its intent. It is a no-nonsense everything from the steel to the pivot to the handles. So speaking of the handles, let's go ahead and move back and take a look at these nice titanium handles. The hardware is very nicely done. It's not dressy, but it is very classy. It's polished, it's beautiful, it's simple, and it's not going to break. And as you can see on the back, there is a nice pivot screw right there. That's a T10 pivot screw right there with a nice titanium over travel stop collar going on there. You can see the thickness of the titanium collar right there. Not a whimsy little piece, a little flimsy little piece right there. That looks like maybe a T6 on the back here. That's okay. It features the hybrid clip that Gareth is known for, where it's affixed from the inside. So hybrid meaning that it is a milled clip, but it's a bent style clip where it's nice and functional. It rides very deep. So what do I think of this knife? Well, guys, I think that this is truly EDC user perfection right here. So if you were ever afraid of using one of your high-end Gareth Bull Shamwaris, this one is certainly the user of all of them. Now at $400, it might be hard to convince somebody to spend money on N690 and what is essentially a titanium frame lock. However, these guys are running a business out of South Africa, and they've got to maintain what they've got to maintain, and they've got to keep bringing good knives to everyone. Now, there may be a solution in the near future coming out in another form, and I'm going to leave that a secret for right now. But as of right now, these are the cheapest versions of the Shamwari that are available. So if you follow Gareth Bull at Gareth Bull Knives on Instagram, that is going to be the best place to get your hands on one of these amazing front flippers. The field grade is no slouch. This knife is every bit as satisfying and as fun as the full custom versions, with a lot less guilt when you're going to be carrying it every day. How this finish is going to hold up over time, I'm not sure. It seems to be a fairly straight bead blast. I imagine it'll show some snail trails, but again, that is the point. This is supposed to be a beater. It's supposed to show some love. And I certainly am showing it love now. I really love Gareth Bull knives. And I'm going to go ahead and preview the fact that I have a spectacular, and I mean jaw-droppingly amazing, custom Shamwari build coming in the very near future. I can't wait to show it to you guys. So stay tuned to my channel for some more Gareth Bull awesomeness. Go ahead and leave some comments down below about what you think of the field grade. I hope you guys can get your hands on one of these. A few of the other YouTube guys have some great videos on this knife. So thank you everyone for watching. Click like and subscribe to my channel here. Head over to Instagram and follow me as Dr. Frunkey over there. And as always, guys, take care.